as Chris is here, and he is literal staff, let's talk about the new regs.
Yeah.
That was announced on just the regular page.
Yeah, if you just go on the main page, you'll find it.
Main page, hit the button. We'll have a look at this.
There you go, it's just there.
Hold on a minute. Regulations, here we go, yeah. Okay, there's been a lot of announcements for staff recently as well. I'm going to have to go over that too, because it was the finance committee, but I've just seen the regulations committee want people as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if anyone's... Do you reckon anyone's quit after the sliding? Do you reckon anyone's bailed? I wonder if they have. Ooh. Announced by Oliver Hexter. Good on you, Oliver, on December the 1st. Oh my gosh.
He turned 40 recently.
So late. Oliver Hexter did.
Years ago.
Is
He's
he
now a senior speedcuber.
Is he fast? That's what I need to know.
He's trying to do a thing where he gets all results before getting 3x3. So if you look at his profile, he has never competed in a 3x3, but he's done like blind and 7x7 and stuff
What a
like
goober.
that.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Okay, all I need to know is how hard I need to practice to stay ahead of him. That's all. Okay, so Oliver Hexter. I assume Oliver's on the regs committee then, hey?
Yeah.
The regs committee would like to inform you about a new version of the regs. This version will be in effect for competitions beginning on or after January the 1st, 2025. So this is the new set. This is the new set of regs that will come in for 2025. You can review all changes in this comparison on GitHub. You can click on Files Change to see the complete files. Okay. But then there's a summary here, which I think we'll go through just now and see if any of it is like worth considering.
A lot of the major changes that they've brought up here is the two big ones are the frame-by-frame analysis and the handling of mis-scrambles, which were both already proposed or announced or whatever beforehand. So it's the frame-by-frame analysis that was like announced a few months ago, back when all of the sliding stuff was going on. But now that's just being formalized in the regulations. And then also a few months before that, there was a proposal for the handling of mis-scrambles, and now that's just being formalized there.
Okay. So, yeah, because the frame-by-frame analysis was a guideline before? Was it guidelines?
Before it was like this. They were like, this is going to be a regulation.
Okay.
But it's not in the regulations yet because we only change them every year, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. There's only that's right. Yes. I'm with you. I remember them saying that. Yeah, we can't just change the regs mid-year.
But they wanted it to like be in effect. They were like, this is in effect from now, but it will be in the regulations in the new year.
Of course. Okay. So defining frame-by-frame analysis requirements. There won't be any change from the announcement though. It's the same information. Introduce a defined process for handling mis-scrambles. So what I am not clued up on this one. What was?
I guess you didn't.
Do we need to go to files changed? Recommendation. The WC. Oh, hold on a minute. My screen's a mess here. Let me just play with OBS for a second. I'll just put my stupid face over here and then put the stupid chat over there. So here we go. Recommendation. The WCA delegate should generate. Or do you want to go over what the problem was? Do you know?
Well, the problem is that we had a lot of big records that got disqualified because of mis-scrambles, and then some that weren't caught after the competition, and then sometimes people, especially in events like Clock that are high in mis-scrambles, if they got a good average but a couple of them were bad solves, they would do what's called scramble fishing, where you go and you check to see which ones are mis-scrambled, and if any of them mis-scrambled, and hope that some of those bad solves are mis-scrambled, and then you get extras because you got a mis-scramble. So then on a solve that maybe you got a DNF, you go and you see, like, oh no, I got a mis-scramble on that DNF, and then they have to give you an extra.
Okay.
So stuff like that was happening. So they basically decided it was pretty vague what you were supposed to do, like, oh, this person got a decent result, am I supposed to check the scramble? Or, oh, it was known, like, if someone gets a world record, you check that scramble.
Yeah, obviously.
But if someone gets a national record, it's like, oh, are we supposed to check it? If someone gets a result that's like 20th in the world, oh, are we supposed to check that? So what they were doing here is, I don't know exactly where you find it in here, but I just remember back from the announcement of the proposed changes a few months ago, they were basically saying that if anybody gets a national record or I think it was top 50 in the world. Yeah, here you go here. If anyone gets a record or top 50 in the world, their scrambles have to be checked. unless it's for an event that allows mis-scrambles like 5, 6, 7 mega.
Yes. So yeah, here we go. So it's part of 11i. What I'm going to do, everyone, I'm just going to switch my mic to a different pattern. Let me know if this is goofed, but this should make it easier to share the mic between Chris and I, because it should be omnidirectional now.
Yeah.
Smart. Okay, so I should have thought of that an hour ago, but I didn't. Okay, so 11i. If it is found that a competitor's puzzle was not scrambled correctly after they have completed their solve, the following regulations apply, and then it's down here. The average or mean the result is a part of is a regional record or part of a personal record in the top 50 competitors of the world rankings.
Yeah.
There's a lot to check there, isn't there, I suppose?
Oh, yeah, and the other thing I didn't mention was if it's in a final of a national, continental, or world championships.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So then there can't be mis-scrambles in that.
Okay, yes. Okay, so so it's more of a definition.
Yeah, so like it's essentially very similar to what it was before, but now instead of delegates guessing, they've now got a set amount of rules of when they need to be checking scrambles.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So here we go. Oh, James has just joined the chat in exactly the right spot for this one. Allow logos for 3x3 blindfolded.
Good.
Now, just
I like this.
Just for 3x3 blindfolded, not for multi.
Not for multi, not for 4 blind, not for 5 blind.
Okay. Why?
So so I think for 4x4 blindfolded, it's because like that center can move around a lot, right? That's one of 4 centers, and that's not that you can't just tell. Like for a 3x3, you can tell the orientation from a centerpiece, right? But for a 4x4, that the piece the logo is on, that is a piece that moves around the cube.
In a 4, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you.
So then you can just not memo that piece, right? And then find it at the end with your fingers and solve it, which it wouldn't be fast, but it would give you some more information. So I think that's why they didn't want to do it for 4x4 blindfolded. 5 blind, maybe they just didn't want it to be confusing that you could have it for 4 blind and not for 5 blind.
Yeah.
Because 5 blind is on the centerpiece that can't move around.
Okay.
And then for multi-blind, I think it was some of the big multi people were like, this is... Because in 3 blind, right, if you're fast, you're never going to use that, right? Like, if you drop the cube and pick it up, like, that's it. Your solve's done.
Yeah,
You're not going to get a big advantage. Mainly, it's just going to be slow people maybe using it. But for multi-blind, it's very common for someone to knock a cube when placing one back or dropping the cube or something like that.
Yeah, true.
So then to be able to feel around and, feel around and figure out what orientation you need to be in.
Yeah.
That's quite a big advantage, and that changes multi-blind quite a lot.
That makes sense.
All right, so what James just said here for 5 blind is because you do like a lot of slice moves in algorithms for 5 blind.
Okay.
And often you may forget to slice back or slice one more move.
Okay.
And then you can check. You'd be able to check where that middle slice is.
Yes. Okay. With you. With you.
But for 3 blind, no one really cares, and it's like, see, I'm not a big fan. I'm a fan of allowing logos, but I want them for everything. My take that I haven't seen many people share around, but I put in like a Facebook group the other day, is that when the first Rubik's Cube was invented, there was a logo on that cube. Mm-hmm. So in my opinion, the logo is a part of the puzzle, and therefore, because people are like, oh, it's additional information. If it was always a part of the puzzle, it's not additional information. It's always been there, and we should have always allowed it. And it should be allowed for everything.
Okay.
That's my stance. And yeah, it might change it a little bit. It might give people a little bit of an advantage for multi-blind or 5 blind or 4 blind. But really, it's a very, very slight change. And I think it just simplifies everything. Like now, a lot of if you want to buy a bunch of multi-cubes, you have to do a bunch of research to figure out, which ones don't have a logo on it, or which ones have a removable logo. And the 4x4s and 5x5s, like the Vin and the Gan 5x5, they have UV coating with a logo underneath. You can't get that off. Like, it's really difficult. And I think I know it's not great, but I think you've just got to deal with it, that we might get a little bit of advantage, but we should allow them. But
yeah, okay.
That's not what they've decided to do. They've decided to just do it for 3 blind.
Austin, does anyone actually stop to feel for logos though? Not if you're competitive, no. Like if you're
it would happen in 5, like in big blind and
multi. I can
and
see
multi.
that argument for multi is actually quite a good one.
It would happen.
Yeah, I can see that totally.
But not for 3
happening.
blind, and that's why they've allowed it.
Yeah, okay. People are arguing whether logo part of the puzzle. I feel like that's personally, I feel like that's a bit of a stretch potentially. It just in my mind, but I've never heard that take until right now, so I'm still processing, still calculating that one.
It got a lot of likes in the Facebook thread I
nice.
It on, so.
Nice. Wesley said at my comp last month they let me do 3 blind with a logo. No one cared, including Tommy Cherry. Funny.
So it's something that often happens is that you'll be doing 3 blind finals and they'll be checking the cubes for logos and they'll find someone with a logo on their cube.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, did you use this in the first round as well? And then they'll be like, yeah. And then you're like, oh no. And then you have to give them a bunch of extras.
Oh yeah, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. Okay, so that's the 3 blind. Increase leniency for grading FMC.
I think this was just it was something like if there was little scribbles on the paper, like they're allowed. It was something like that.
There's one change there, an explanation, and then we're looking at examples of interpreting symbols or combinations of symbols that are not defined.
Yeah.
Oh, is this about the... James, do you know about this one? Is this the one that, like, if you don't use universally accepted, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Notation.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just like they were a little bit strict before.
Oh, yeah, look, it is.
Like stuff like uppercase and lowercase.
Uppercase and lowercase when you're handwriting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were just being very strict before, and now they're like a little bit more chill about it.
They've chilled a bit. Okay, that's good. And allow championships to restrict advancement to competitors.
This is good.
What's this? What's happening here?
So essentially, competitions like Singapore Championships, right? Last year or a couple of years ago, Singapore Champs was bombarded by Chinese competitors, right?
Okay.
And Singapore, small country, China, big country. China, lots of fast 3x3 solvers. Singapore, not many fast 3x3 solvers. So I'm pretty sure, at least in 2023, there was 2 Singaporean competitors in the 3x3 final.
Okay.
And what they've previously allowed is they've said that, okay, we want finals is going to be top 16, but we want to get 8 of our countries or our continent's competitors in that final. That's what they've done at UK championships and stuff. But then to allow that many, they have to allow everybody between the 8th, like, fastest Singaporean, like anybody up to that point. So if the 8th fastest Singaporean was 40th in the semi-finals, they'd have to allow the top 40 competitors into the final.
Oh, snap.
To allow all 8 of those Singaporeans. So I'm pretty sure what this is now you can allow, say, okay, we're going to allow the top 8 competitors from this country and then the top 8 from international.
Okay.
So even if the 8th from that country is 50th in the previous round, they're allowed to go to the final, even if the person who's like 10th overall but is an international competitor isn't.
Okay. I think I'm with you. So, like, if we were bombarded with Aussies, for example.
Yeah, if we were bombarded with Aussies, we'd still have a good amount of Kiwis in the finals.
Okay. All right.
Without having to make the finals humongous.
Yeah, well, that seems sensible. Like, I don't have an immediate problem with that. Right, there's minor changes as well, but I'm not going through all of them because life is too short.
I don't really
frankly,
know any of those.
You can all...
I think the top one's quite interesting, actually.
Oh, do you?
So I'm pretty sure this one here, it was that... I may be wrong here, but when you change the region you represent... So when I changed from the UK to New Zealand, you had to do it at the start of a year, just so you weren't like switching around a bunch. But I'm pretty sure now, if you acquire a new nationality or like a new passport within a year, you're allowed to switch when you acquire that passport.
Okay. All right, okay. Sorry, I was on the wrong screen there for a second, everyone. So, yeah, remove 2E2. The restriction on citizenship change is the reg that we're talking about. And the exact change is right here. Wah!
Oh, okay. So no, what it is now is you're allowed to change it as long as it's been at any point between competitions, as long as it's been at least 1 year since any previous change. So I wouldn't be allowed to change mine now because I changed mine at the start of the year. But the moment we go into 2025, at any point I could change nationality back to the UK, which before I would have only been allowed to do that at the start of the year.
I'm with you. Okay, so it's pretty admin heavy. That one, but I'm with you.
Yeah, and then if you lose a citizenship or acquire one, you're allowed to change whenever.
I can't talk too loudly on the record about this because I'm currently registered as New Zealand and don't have my passport. So I'm just going to keep this. Just chill, everyone. All right? I don't want to waste anyone's time because I'm about to get my New Zealand passport and everything will be fine. I just don't want to waste anyone's time because my results are less than nothing in the grand scheme of things. All right, so there we go, everyone. That's the regulation. Hold on a minute. What's this one hiding down the bottom? DNF penalty.
I think that's just confirming that that's what happens.
A DNF penalty for competitors knocking over the cube cover.
That already happened, but I think they're just clarifying that if you knock over the cube cover, that definitely happens. Because maybe some people thought it was an extra or something.
So if you fat hand over your own cube cover.
Yeah, that's what happened that's why Lockie didn't get an OCR a couple months back.
That's right.
Knocked over a cube cover.
I didn't realise that was a DNF. Okay, so that's been clarified now.
Yeah, because it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we are. That's interesting. Very interesting. You can go and check out all the minor changes if you want, everyone. But I don't want to.
So what Corey just pointed out is that you can now... not Corey, James, sorry. Is that you can now win 2 different national championships.
What? How?
So next year, say New Zealand Nationals was before the UK Championships, I would be able to compete for New Zealand Nationals, win, say, and then switch to UK, go compete in the UK Champs and win.
What?
So that's now possible, but before you could only do it.
Well, I mean, you have to. You have to. You have to. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. That's what we should be spending the WCA's time on, is switching yours so you can get a double champ win. Don't worry about mine, WCA, okay? Don't worry about that. I'll be a Kiwi in any second now. Thank you so much for watching. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want to see more. I stream once a week and I release videos pretty much every day. Also, use code CUBECAST to save 5% at speedcubeshop.com, Cubing Life Academy, speedcube.nz, lastlayercubing.com. Have fun, solve cubes, and I'll catch you in the next one.